As racist and weird and stupid Donald Trump is, watching him debating on a presidential debate is pure comedy. Until you realize that this one of these people in the Joe Biden or Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, one of them are going to be president, then you start like feeling really sad. It's the same thing in this debate. It was just weird. More from Donald Trump's side than Kamala Harris. Today we're gonna watch a video by Renpan Logic, and he's gonna tell us what Donald Trump should have responded instead of people are eating dogs, people are eating cats. What Donald Trump should have responded with in the Kamala Harris point about abortion. These are questions, of course, they're against abortion. Let's hear them out.
Donald Trump missed an opportunity to respond to a popular pro choice claim in his debate with Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris raised what is often referred to as the bodily autonomy argument. Here's a clip.
One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Here's what I wish Trump would have said in response. Kamala, your claim is flawed for two reasons. First, the law routinely tells people what to do with their bodies. In fact, they do.
In cases where they harm other people, not just randomly tell them what to do with their body. That's your personal choice. In cases that they actually are harming somebody else.
it all the time. It tells people they can't leave their young kids unsupervised while they go away for the weekend. It tells people
Hey, I wanna say, I don't wanna call you a dumbass, but like that's just a dumb idea. Like think about it. That is harming their children. They decided to have a child. They had a child and they can just leave the child unprotected. If they do that, there are consequences, including the children being put in a foster home and taken away from them. If they don't want that, then take care of the literal responsibility that you took on by becoming a parent. You're hurting the child by leaving them unsupervised because they could do something that's just crazy. They're children. Again, when it start hurting others, the law is supposed to come in and saying you can't do that. Like freedom of speech doesn't mean you can just scream fire, fire without no fire.
they have to wear clothes in public areas. It tells people they can't drink.
Because everybody has the freedom to not be watching you naked. That's for your own private views. Again, the law is supposed to come in to make sure everybody is able to express and have freedom to do things that they want to do. Yeah, you can wear whatever clothes you want to wear, but you shouldn't be naked because, again, there are children around. This is to protect others and yourself in many cases. Oh, you want to be naked today, but tomorrow you see another naked man that you don't like how it looks. Like, it's to protect yourself and others.
And then drive. My point is, the law routinely tells us what we can do and where we can go with our bodies. We should all agree that it's completely acceptable to limit individual freedom in certain circumstances. Now, this
Yes, like I have mentioned, in circumstances that hurt others. And the law actually agrees with us. So let's see what your point is.
raises a massively important question. When is it appropriate for the law to restrict what we do with our own bodies? The answer is when we are a genuine threat to another valuable human being. The government appropriately restricts what we do with our bodies when we become a danger to others. And this leads to the
Oh, wow.
second point. Second, the unborn is not the mother's body. It's another body that's developing inside her body. Think about this for a minute. The unborn has its own gender, its own unique blood type, its own unique genetic fingerprint. Over time, it develops its own central nervous system, its own organs. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, now think about these two.
Over time, when it's already 9 months and it's already literally a baby, when it's about to be born, that's your overtime. Overtime is 7 months, 8 months, which abortion is not viable at those times. You can just have an abortion at 7, 8, or 9, which Donald Trump was apparently pointing out and saying, it's illegal everywhere to do that, which is wrong. It's just like the propaganda speech of, oh, if you're transgender, you could transgender a 9-year old, a 8-year old with medical treatment and surgeries. No, actually, you can't. And if you're doing that, you need the consent of the parent. A 9-year old can't consent to a surgery without the parent. So that's more of a parental choice and the child's choice. It's more of those weird propaganda that they just say out there. They just say it without even looking at the stats, and people just make videos on it and not using their brain. Like, you just can't do these things. There are laws and regulations to many things, including that. So again, it is still part of the mother's body. Until the child actually comes out, it's technically still part of the mother's body. It's nourishing on the mother's body. And when you're saying it's developing organs, we're talking later in the months. In the early months, it's still just not a baby.
Two things together. Since abortion is a threat to the life of the unborn, after all, it intentionally kills the unborn, it's entirely appropriate for the government to make laws restricting people from doing that. In other words, laws restricting abortion, the killing of an innocent human being, are the morally right thing to do. Now, there is an even more extreme version of this argument that grants that the unborn is a distinct and valuable human being, but still appeals to a woman's absolute or sovereign right to bodily autonomy. The problem is,
Hold on, if we're discussing, this is going to where it gets weird. If we're discussing the unborn child, the fetus being a living being, a human, a potential human, then shouldn't you, I guess masturbation is one of the things you should, have the government ban too. Because that's where it starts, isn't it? Isn't that where it starts? The seed, the eggs, mixing together. I guess you should stop masturbation too. Like, it doesn't make sense. If that's the argument, it doesn't make sense. And if the government can apparently stop masturbation, why don't you just stop everything? So you have no freedom to actually do whatever you want with your body without hurting others.
this view leads to some unthinkable implications. For example, suppose a woman is 9 months pregnant. Her child is well beyond the point of viability. Should she still have a right to abort this child? The extreme
Well, thank you for bringing out Donald Trump's point. Even though you're saying he could have done better and you're saying the same exact fucking shit. No, at the 9 months, if you're even doing an abortion at that stage, it shouldn't even be called abortion. If you're doing something to terminate the child at that stage, it actually will affect the mother's life. But but then again, this are, like I said before, this is a propaganda shit to make it seem like it's actually legal to have an abortion at the ninth month when the child is about to be born. No, it's not. Nobody does that because that's just stupidity. You're not thinking for 9 months whether you're gonna actually keep the fetus or not. Like, it's already turning into a child that's about to be born. That's just stupidity. Okay, they're just trying to make this extreme situations that does not even happen.
view of bodily autonomy would have to say yes. Or suppose a woman discovers that she's pregnant.
And no, they don't. Only very weird people would think that actually makes sense. No, they don't.
And she's having a healthy baby girl. Now imagine she doesn't want a girl, she wants a boy. Should she have the right to have a sex selective abortion? Again, the absolute bodily rights argument would have to say yes. Or suppose
Well, technically, she could just select the eggs before she even put it together. She could select the, she could select which egg she wants to actually have. Like that's a thing. That's a thing.
a pregnant woman has bad nausea and wants to take a drug like thalidomide, which causes severe birth defects in her child. Should she have the right to take it? If you answered no to
If she's actually in danger, yes, you might as well save the mother's life. Yes, if it saves her life. If she needs to take this drug or she dies. Yes. Jeez. They complicate things that doesn't need to be complicated. They start making things that technically make sense to ask dumb questions and say, you see, it doesn't make any sense. Even though it does. Like I've said before, this is not really logic.
any of these questions, and I really hope you did, then you actually agree with me that a woman doesn't have an absolute right to bodily autonomy. In other words, the argument fails. And if it fails, then it shouldn't be used to defend abortion. If you want to learn
You gave the same argument Donald Trump gave, and it was just stupid. A woman has the right to her body to do whatever she wants with her body without hurting others. Just like a man, just like anybody else. We should all have the freedom to do that. Live our lives without hurting somebody else. And you're not hurting somebody by getting an abortion. Now, the point that they bring up 7, 8, 9 months, I don't think anybody actually gets an abortion late into that stage. There should probably be a limit on how long you can take it because that will also affect the mother's health. I knew I was right on this, but I just did some more searching of them while I'm recording the video. Yes, there's some laws that literally ban late stage abortion in US, so it's not even legal. And also the only reason it would have actually ever been done is because of medical reasons and the mother life is a risk, like I've already mentioned. Nobody just go in at 7, 8 and say, oh yeah, now I'm deciding to terminate the abortion. Like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like I've said, it's just a propaganda bullshit. And the fact that red pen logic falls for this is quite interesting. I cannot find in any of his video where the logic stands. Where there's actual logic. So red pen logic, let's be logical and make some fucking sense. That's all I have for you today. I'm done ranting. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a lovely day, people.